Juki friends. My name is Alba and I'm the national trainer for Juki Home Sewing. Today we're going to get into a project that I think you're really going to love. It is a flanged pillowcase. I really love this. We added some quilting on this one, the pretty flanged edge, which is that decorative touch. And what a great way to change up your bedroom if you just don't have it in the budget to change out furniture. Pillows and shams could really make all the difference in the world. Let's get started. Welcome back. I've done some prep work to the pillow front and I just wanted to share that with you. I have the front of my pillow, which is 29 by 23. And I fused my batting to the back of it, which is an inch smaller. Now we've used the Pellon fusible Thermalon foam, but any fusible batting, fusible fleece will be fine for this. And as you can see, I fused it to the back and I just centered it all around that fabric. Now the next step in starting with the pillow is doing some markings. From the edge of all four sides, I have marked 1.5 inches from the edges. And I have marked this, and you will want to do that with some sort of fabric marking pencil, a heat away, a chalk pencil, something that will go away. What these lines will represent is the area that you need to quilt within and stay within those lines. Now I have my TL18 all set up for sewing, and I am going to show you just some quick and easy straight line sewing that I am going to do to quilt my pillow. Now, not to have that fleece or batting on the edge of the machine, I'm going to place my piece of muslin onto the back of my pillow. And my muslin I cut a little bit larger than my pillow, so you will see that overhang. And I've done that just in case you're doing really intricate and detailed quilting where you might get some shrinkage. So let me start, and I am going to start right in the center. Now, you may want to pin or baste your fabric layers together. On something this small, I usually don't, but I just want to start in the center, and my first line that I am going to do is actually going to baste the layers together. And today, what I am going to do is curvy line sewing. Now with the straight line quilting, the only thing I'm doing is curvy lines. And as you can see, I'm just tilting back and forth, making it a point to keep my fabric straight and go and stop at that line. And how handy is it having that scissor function? Now I'm using white thread so that you could see my quilting. I'm making sure that my fabric is in place, and I'm going to mirror and do some hourglass shaping on here. So you'll be really impressed with how easy this quilting is and how impressive it looks. And again, just keeping my fabric nice and straight. This is a great type of quilting to do if you're one of those people that just does not like free motion or finds it a little bit scary. This gives a nice wood tone effect. And I'm able to utilize that full speed that TL18 has. Now, as you can see, I try to do white thread on this so that you could see it. It's already starting to take on that wood grain look, and I'm going to do one more line. And as I'm starting, I'm going further apart, closer together, further apart, and I'm going in opposite directions or mirroring. And when you get back, this will be all finished. So here we are with the completed quilting, and just look at how beautiful that looks. It just has a nice modern look and done very easily and all with our regular machine. Now I'm going to show you the back side. Now I went a little off with my fabric, and it's not a problem. That extra bit of batting and that extra bit of muslin that's there really helps with the flange stay nice and crisp. Once your quilting is done, that line that we added not only is our stopping and starting point for our quilting, but it's also going to be our stitching line. So our two back pieces I've prepped for you, and I'm going to show you what I mean by prepped. I've done a 1/2 inch fold, and I've done a double fold and pressed that down, and I'm going to hem both sides of that. Now I'm going to show you my trick that I like for doing top stitching, and I like to use the foot as my guide. My folded edge that I am top stitching on is lined up with that opening in the inside of the foot, and it gives you a beautiful straight line top stitch and something to follow, and gives you that beautiful stitching right on the edge of the fabric. And you are going to do this on both back pieces, and this will form that envelope back. But look at that beautiful stitching right along the edge, all by following that inside of the foot. And we will be doing this on both pieces. And having that pre-pressed really does help keep everything in shape and lined up beautifully. Now you may want to pin this. For anyone who knows me, those pins, I just don't like them. But if you feel that you need to pin, please feel free. And we have both of those edges hemmed. And now we're going to place them on top of our pillow. And you'd want that folded edge in towards the center, and they are going to overlap by quite a few inches. And this is to secure and make sure that everything stays in place. And here you would want to pin all the way around. Now that same 1.5 inch marking that I did to guide me for my quilting, I'm going to mark on the back of my pillowcase. If you do not want to mark, you could also use a magnetic seam guide, but you do want to have your placement for where you want to be sewing on that pillowcase. We are going to sew 1/4 inch all the way around, and then a second stitch on this marking. So I am going to bring my pillow sham to my machine, and where the fabrics overlap, you want to make sure to back tack. So I really want to secure those, and I do that several times, going all the way around that pillow. And I like to go all the way to the corner, stop, and overlap my 1/4 inch stitching. And I'm going to back tack at the corners as well. And we're going to do this on all 4 sides. Once all of your 1/4 inch seaming is done, we are going to cut the corners so that we could turn our pillowcase inside out. And you just want to make sure to poke those corners out and turn that completely inside out. Again, I'm really paying attention to those corners. And we want to bring this to our iron and iron all of my edges flat. So we're all back that our pillow has been ironed. And if when you're ironing you were not careful and your heat away marking did go away, since we did our 1/4 inch seam allowance, you would be marking 1 1/4 inches from the edge of the pillow. Now this will give you for a standard size pillow, and we are going to sew on that line that we marked 1/4 of an inch, 1 1/4 of an inch from the sewn edge. Now you can use a magnetic guide to guide your seaming, but I really find that marking the fabric is that easiest way. And here, when I get to that, I do not want to cross over. So I like using my needle up down to make sure my needle gets to exactly where I need to. Now I finished my sewing all along the line, and now you can do some top stitching along the edge if you like. I really like it without that top stitching, but just that easily, and here's the back side with that nice envelope filling, we could put our pillow in here. So here we are with our pillow sham all done, and I've done my stitching all the way around. If you'd like, you could do some top stitching along that edge, but I just love the way this looks. That little bit of fusible fleece and extra layer of muslin really helps those corners stick up and not be floppy. If you do find that once you put your pillow in that envelope, it is not snug enough and not looking tight enough, you could do a second layer of stitching on the inside of that. I hope you enjoyed this project. I hope to see you again next time, and make sure to like and subscribe so that you'll get all of our future videos as well. Bye-bye.